Welcome back to Vancouver Carpenter. So yeah, do these things actually work? The fast cap, this one's the tungsten carbide one. I've always been, do it the slow and not very fun way with a chisel. So I'm pretty excited to try this because it is such a tedious job doing it with a chisel. And if your chisel has the tiniest little burr or the edge gets a little dull, it just doesn't work very nicely. So yeah, this one has, two sides. So if one side gets dull, I guess you still have the other side, but hopefully it keeps an edge for a long time. So today what I have is some pre-finished birch plywood with some iron-on edge banding. So wood edge banding is especially difficult because it has a grain and the blade likes to follow the grain and it likes to split it and lift it off where it shouldn't. So I'm, both skeptical and excited to try this to see if it works. Anyways, let's get right to it. And if it does work, I'm gonna link it in the description below. Okay, first piece. I guess you line it up in the little groove right there. Make sure the bottom's touching. And push. See how it looks so far. Hopefully that wasn't a mistake pulling it off. But I just want to see before I commit to it. It's actually looking pretty good. I didn't push hard enough to get the bottom one, but I'm reasonably happy with the top. A little bit of tear out. I'm losing my light here. I wanted to be filming with more light. Okay, I'm pretty darn happy with that. I wasn't pushing down super hard because, like I said, I was worried that it was going to tear. So now I'm going to do one more fine pass, pushing really hard with the tool. Because you can always take a little more off, but if you take too much off, you can't put it back on. Oh, and you can start it mid-run if you need to. That's pretty darn good. Doesn't get like super close. Well, the bottom feels close. Why isn't the top? Let's try it again. Maybe there's something stuck in here. I'll even try flipping it around to the other side. Right, there we go. And it hasn't been scratching it either, I don't think. Let's take an up close look at that because that is really good. And I haven't even sanded the edge. Yeah, get a look at that. One little bit of tear out at the start when I was pushing maybe a bit too hard, but overall, it's super good. Like really, really good, you guys. Really good. Super easy too. All right, you guys, so it was really good, but not perfect. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna take this sharp knife blade and I'm just going to really quickly score this inside edge so that it has somewhere to break. Because what I found was it was still sometimes tearing the veneer, the edge banding, into the plywood face. So I'm hoping that maybe this, and I know it seems like a waste of time, but I'm hoping that this really helps correct that. Because sometimes, like if the edge banding isn't put on perfect, and you have like a mil or less on one side, but you have 1/8 of an inch sticking out on the other, it's the side that has a lot of material sticking out that seems to tear. All right, this side, it doesn't stick out much. This side right here is sticking out like almost 1/8. But overall, it's still way faster than the chisel. But I will say that when I use a chisel, I'm able to see when it's getting damaged and stop moving forward quicker and easier. Whereas this one, you just kind of have to roll with it and hope that it's not tearing into the plywood. Okay, that one was way better. I think I'm just gonna do one more pass, maybe back in the other direction, just to make sure that it's perfect. But I think that actually worked. And I would say, yeah, it makes it a little bit slower, but I don't think you have to do it everywhere. You only have to do it when it's not centered and it's overhanging a lot on one side. But now it's pretty much perfect. So I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like real quick, and then I'm gonna sand it and show you again, because we have to ease the edge still. So overall, it's pretty good. And you know, tear out a little bit there. So I might try and face that against a wall or have it be on a shelf that's facing down. But overall, it's really good. Pretty hard to see this side. This side came out better because it was the one that only had a little bit hanging over. But I'm pretty happy with it. Quick sand is all it needs. Okay, so do I think that this tool is worth the money? Yes. I would say I was like 50% to even 75% faster, and I'm doing almost as good a job as I did with the chisel. So I would say that increase in productivity was worth the very slight decrease in quality. And it's also the first time I've ever used it. So it's totally possible that I could get better and faster with it. And again, if my edge banding was on more centered, it would be an even better job. So overall, really happy with it. There's only a few spots on some of the other boards that aren't acceptable for, you know, like having it facing out. So I'll have to find some way to hide those little spots. But yeah, overall, it's looking really good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I definitely think there's some value in these. So yeah, link in description below. There's a few different kinds. And if you know of different brands that you prefer, also if you have any advice on technique for using these, leave it in the comments. As always, your guys' expertise helps out round out the stuff that I don't know. Anyways, I just want to say thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter. That's another video, you know, about this handy dandy edge banding trimming tool. Yeah, happy I bought it. Hope to get a lot more mileage out of this. I do a lot of closet shelves out of pre-finished plywood, so that's where this will be seeing the most action. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys are doing well. Till the next video.